And look, I don't want to recreate the playoff because we're not even in the quarterfinals yet. So I'm not going to ask you what would you do differently. I think we all agree that the seed, like the conference champions, doesn't mean you automatically get a bye. I think you automatically get in, but you can seed them differently. We can do all that at a different time. Here's what I do want to ask you though. We go to the quarterfinals. I do want to move ahead because the first round speaks for itself, the scores. So then you go to the second round. You've got Texas, Arizona State. You've got Oregon, Ohio State. You've got Notre Dame, Georgia. And you have, why am I drawing a blank now?
Boise State, Penn State.
Boise State, Penn State. Yeah,
I can
obvious
see.
reasons.
I can see why you might have forgotten that one.
so let's go down. Let's start with Texas, Arizona State. The SEC still represented against the Sun Devils. A great story. How do you see that game?
Well, I mean, I like Texas, but Matt, Texas is just one of the hardest teams to wrap your arms around.
Correct.
I've been out there so many times this year, and I mean, Quinn Ewers maybe holding up the MVP and the national championship trophy in 3 weeks, but we're still going to be questioning what made him so good because for all the good that he does, some of it gets taken away by bad decisions. But I think Texas's defense. Is still the calling card. They picked up a few more critical injuries. What they don't need is any more injuries on the offensive line because that has been their struggle all year long. But I was impressed. Just when you were about to wonder about them, they put up that goal line stand against Clemson. So I like their chances. I don't know Arizona State like you do. Obviously, I respect the job that they've done this year. It's pretty amazing. But I think it feels like it ends here.
Yeah, I would say Arizona State Camp Scadaboo, they've got a remarkable year. They're playing with momentum. Momentum's going to be halted for about 4 weeks. The only thing I do believe they have going for them, Scadaboo, the running back, no one believes in them, and they've had some time to rest with Texas a little beat up. But I'm with you. Arizona State's been a great story. I just want them to be competitive in that game at the Peach Bowl. Georgia, Notre Dame. We don't believe Carson Beck's playing. We believe it's going to be Gunnar Stockton.
No, he's not playing.
Notre Dame's won what 11 or 12 in a row since losing to NIU. That's a good looking football game. Is Georgia in trouble at all?
I mean, I can easily see them getting in trouble, but I think we overuse the word resilient. It's kind of the new catchphrase, but nobody's been more resilient than Georgia. I mean, this team really did have the most impossible schedule. And when you consider it, that they had to play Texas twice, they were at Alabama, at Ole Miss, and had Tennessee at home. And the fact they only had two losses is pretty remarkable. So, I mean, I like Georgia a slight edge. You have to be worried about Gunner Stockton. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many draw. We don't. We're fine. No, you're not. I mean, you lost a guy. It seems I don't know. I don't think. Carson Beck is related to Quinn Ewers, but they've had the same type of year. I mean, it's been all over the place, and I think that's what some Georgia fans are gravitating to. But in talking to Kirby Smart Saturday morning on our show, he feels pretty confident, and I think he feels confident because he has ETN is healthy.
Yeah.
That's a big factor. He's not been healthy
Yeah.
all year. I mean, he is a dynamic running back, which we haven't seen very much of. He's the one that came over from Florida,
Yeah.
and their defense, with Jalen Walker and so many other pieces, they can hold up very well.
I find stylistically this game is going to be very, very, very similar in that Notre Dame, no bones about it. Love and the other running back 24, they're going to line up. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be physical. The defenses are physical. We don't expect much out of the quarterbacks, but they can make the throw when they need. Gunner's the wild card. Riley Leonard's proven. I think this has potential to be a phenomenal game. The winner will get the winner of Penn State, Boise State. Kind of know which way that one's headed a little bit. Or no, is that right? I got to get this damn bracket.
I think you're right. I believe you're right.
I'm just gonna pull it up right now because this
Oh,
whole bracket.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
so
sure.
the winner, Georgia Notre Dame winner gets Penn State, Boise State,
And
Ohio State,
that
Oregon.
is the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, so that's where we are heading into the quarterfinals. We can dig into Oregon and Ohio State. We kind of did. We saw that game in a regular season. It's a shame we have to see it again this close in the playoffs. But ultimately, end of the day, don't be surprised. I'm optimistic. I love being optimistic about good football, Paul, but don't be surprised if these quarterfinals have a couple of blowouts in them as well.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, and on that point, there's not much you can do about it. And I talked to Greg Sankey about this issue on Saturday morning, Matt, and he admitted, listen, we had a good plan, and then a couple of commissioners blew it up. We had to go back into the room, and we had to have unanimous consent, so we ended up with what we got. And is it better than where we were? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm still not sure because for all the hype for Friday and Saturday, and I know this sounds anti college football, but it was a pretty forgettable weekend.
Yep. Paul, finally, I'm going to get you out on this one. Merry Christmas to you, by the way. I would like for you to give the people one big college football Christmas stocking stuffer of all the things we saw this week and give them the one thing that they should remember going into the holiday week.
Well, I still think even though the game was miserable, there was magic about Friday night.
Yeah.
The anticipation, seeing it. Yeah, I mean, do you get hung up on touchdown Jesus? But Notre Dame is the cathedral of college football. I mean, sorry, Alabama fans, it didn't start. It didn't start with Danny Chimes, and there was something about it. The weather's overdone, but that to me was one of the most dramatic moments of the college football season, maybe one of the most dramatic moments we've ever seen because we waited so long.
Yeah.
Sadly, we got stuck having to see Kurt Signetti, his big mouth in Indiana, lay yet
Punting in the
another
fourth
egg.
quarter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Punting with 10 minutes in the
I
fourth
mean,
quarter down
so,
20 to
someone
3.
just put a sock in Kurt Signetti's mouth. I mean, I applaud you being a brave new world guy, but you haven't backed up one thing you've said this year. You've beaten a bunch of nobodies, and next year you'll probably be not probably you will be sitting at home watching the playoffs.
There it is, your Christmas stocking stuffer from Paul Finebaum. Don't say he never got you anything around the holidays. We appreciate everything everyone has done this year for the show. Next time we talk, we'll be on the other side of 2025. Can't believe we're already here. So from us to you, happy holidays to everyone as we move on in the college football playoff bracket here on the ESPN College Football YouTube channel and the Matt Barrie Show presented by Allstate.